Abate, abate, abate. The doctor prescribed medication to abate the patient's fever. The doctor prescribed medication to abate the patient's fever. Abate, abate. Accost, accost, accost. The beggar accosted tourists on the street. The beggar accosted tourists on the street. Accost, accost. Admonish, admonish, admonish. The teacher admonished the students to study harder. The teacher admonished the students to study harder. Admonish, admonish. Allay, allay, allay. The rain shower did little to allay the drought conditions in the region. The rain shower did little to allay the drought conditions in the region. Allay, allay. Appease, appease, appease. The mother appeased her crying child by giving her a cookie. The mother appeased her crying child by giving her a cookie. Appease, appease. Berate, berate, berate. The boss berated the employee for his tardiness. The boss berated the employee for his tardiness. Berate, berate. Brandish, brandish, brandish. The athlete brandished his gold medal after winning the race. The athlete brandished his gold medal after winning the race. Brandish, brandish. Circumvent, circumvent, circumvent. The man circumvented the traffic by taking a shortcut. The man circumvented the traffic by taking a shortcut. Circumvent, circumvent. Condone, condone, condone. The doctor condoned smoking. The doctor condoned smoking. Condone, condone. Deluge, deluge, deluge. I'm deluged with work. I'm deluged with work. Deluge, deluge. Denote, denote, denote. Dove denotes peace. Dove denotes peace. Denote, denote. Detract, detract, detract. The noisy neighbors detract from my ability to concentrate. The noisy neighbors detract from my ability to concentrate. Detract, detract. Disparage, disparage, disparage. He disparaged his wife's cooking as being bland and tasteless. He disparaged his wife's cooking as being bland and tasteless. Disparage, disparage. Disseminate, disseminate, disseminate. The seeds are disseminated by the wind. The seeds are disseminated by the wind. Disseminate, disseminate. divulge, divulge, divulge. The spy divulged secrets to the enemy. The spy divulged secrets to the enemy. Divulge, divulge. Exasperate, exasperate, exasperate. The dog's barking exasperated the neighbors. The dog's barking exasperated the neighbors. Exasperate, exasperate. Excavate, excavate, excavate. The paleontologists excavated a dinosaur bone from the ground. The paleontologists excavated a dinosaur bone from the ground. Excavate, excavate. Exhort, exhort, exhort. The activists exhorted people to protect the environment. The activists exhorted people to protect the environment. Exhort, exhort. Exonerate, exonerate, exonerate. The judge exonerated the defendant of all charges. The judge exonerated the defendant of all charges. Exonerate, exonerate. Extol, extol, extol. The manager extolled her hard work and dedication to the project. The manager extolled her hard work and dedication to the project. Extol, extol. Extricate, extricate, extricate. The firefighter extricated the girl from the fire. The firefighter extricated the girl from the fire. Extricate, extricate. Exude, exude, exude. The flowers exuded a sweet fragrance. The flowers exuded a sweet fragrance. Exude, exude. Feign, feign, feign. He feigned illness to get out of work. He feigned illness to get out of work. Feign, feign. Forfeit, forfeit, forfeit. The player forfeited the game after receiving a red card. The player forfeited the game after receiving a red card. Forfeit, forfeit. Heave, heave, heave. The father heaved the baby onto his shoulders. The father heaved the baby onto his shoulders. Heave, heave. Hoard, hoard, hoard. Many people hoarded food in their freezers in case of shortages. Many people hoarded food in their freezers in case of shortages. Hoard, hoard. Implore, implore, implore. He implored his beloved to marry him. He implored his beloved to marry him. Implore, implore. Incur, incur, incur. The patient incurred a serious injury in the car accident. The patient incurred a serious injury in the car accident. Incur, incur. insinuate, insinuate, insinuate. The look in her eyes insinuated that she was afraid. The look in her eyes insinuated that she was afraid. Insinuate, insinuate. Instigate, instigate, instigate. The union leader instigated a strike. The union leader instigated a strike. Instigate, instigate. Intercept, intercept, intercept. The government intercepted the communications between the terrorists. The government intercepted the communications between the terrorists. Intercept, intercept. Mitigate, mitigate, mitigate. The couple's marriage counselor helped them to mitigate their conflict. The couple's marriage counselor helped them to mitigate their conflict. Mitigate, mitigate. Mollify, mollify, mollify. The soft music helped to mollify her anxiety. The soft music helped to mollify her anxiety. Mollify, mollify. Muster, muster, muster. The athlete mustered all his strength to finish the race. The athlete mustered all his strength to finish the race. Muster, muster. Nullify, nullify, nullify. The court nullified the contract. The court nullified the contract. Nullify, nullify. Obliterate, obliterate, obliterate. The earthquake obliterated the town. The earthquake obliterated the town. Obliterate, obliterate. Ostracize, ostracize, ostracize. The child was ostracized by her peers for being different. The child was ostracized by her peers for being different. Ostracize, ostracize. Permeate, permeate, permeate. The smell of the flowers permeated the room. The smell of the flowers permeated the room. Permeate, permeate. Perturb, perturb, perturb. The new policy perturbed the employees. The new policy perturbed the employees. Perturb, perturb. Precipitate, precipitate, precipitate. The earthquake precipitated a landslide. The earthquake precipitated a landslide. Precipitate, precipitate. Procure, procure, procure. The chef procured fresh ingredients from the local market. The chef procured fresh ingredients from the local market. Procure, procure. Prod, prod, prod. The mother prodded her child to finish her homework. The mother prodded her child to finish her homework. Prod, prod. quench, quench, quench. The river quenches the thirst of the animals. The river quenches the thirst of the animals. Quench, quench. Ransack, ransack, ransack. She ransacked her bag for her keys. She ransacked her bag for her keys. Ransack, ransack. Rebuff, rebuff, rebuff. He rebuffed my offer to help. He rebuffed my offer to help. Rebuff, rebuff. Rebuke, rebuke, rebuke. The parent rebuked the child for lying. The parent rebuked the child for lying. Rebuke, rebuke. Rectify, rectify, rectify. The engineer rectified the design of the bridge. The engineer rectified the design of the bridge. Rectify, rectify. Reiterate, reiterate, reiterate. The scientist reiterated his findings on climate change. The scientist reiterated his findings on climate change. Reiterate, reiterate. Relegate, relegate, relegate. The football team was relegated to the second division. The football team was relegated to the second division. Relegate, relegate. Relinquish, relinquish, relinquish. The smoker relinquished his habit after many years. The smoker relinquished his habit after many years. Relinquish, relinquish. Rescind, rescind, rescind. The company rescinded the contract. The company rescinded the contract. Rescind, rescind. Revoke, revoke, revoke. The company revoked the employee's contract. The company revoked the employee's contract. Revoke, revoke. Route, route, route. The army routed the protesters. The army routed the protesters. Route, route. Scrawl, scrawl, scrawl. The child scrawled on the wall with a crayon. The child scrawled on the wall with a crayon. Scrawl, scrawl. Smear, smear, smear. The artist smeared paint on the canvas. The artist smeared paint on the canvas. Smear, smear. Squander, squander, squander. He squandered his inheritance on gambling. He squandered his inheritance on gambling. Squander, squander. Stint, stint, stint. She stinted on her sleep to finish her work. She stinted on her sleep to finish her work. Stint, stint. Substantiate, substantiate, substantiate. The scientist substantiated his theory with experiments. The scientist substantiated his theory with experiments. Substantiate. Substantiate. Taunt. 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 The boy taunted the girl by calling her names. The boy taunted the girl by calling her names. Taunt. Taunt. Thwart. 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 The thief was thwarted by a security guard. The thief was thwarted by a security guard. Thwart. Thwart. Abort. 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 The rocket launch was aborted due to technical problems. The rocket launch was aborted due to technical problems. Abort. 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 Absolve. 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 The jury absolved the defendant of all charges. The jury absolved the defendant of all charges. Absolve. 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 Adjourn. 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 The game was adjourned due to bad weather. The game was adjourned due to bad weather. Adjourn. 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 Alienate. 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 The new technology alienated some of the older workers. The new technology alienated some of the older workers. Alienate. 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 Amass. 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 He amassed a fortune through hard work and shrewd investments. He amassed a fortune through hard work and shrewd investments. Amass. 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 Annex. 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 The museum annexed a small library to its main building. The museum annexed a small library to its main building. Annex. 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 Assuage. 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 A cool breeze assuaged the heat of the day. A cool breeze assuaged the heat of the day. Assuage. 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 Baffle. 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 The instructions were so complex that they baffled me. The instructions were so complex that they baffled me. Baffle. 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 Blemish. 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 The car accident left the car blemished. The car accident left the car blemished. Blemish. 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 Censure. 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 The company was censured for its unethical practices. The company was censured for its unethical practices. Censure. 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 Chisel. 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 A sculptor was chiseling a statue out of marble. A sculptor was chiseling a statue out of marble. Chisel. chisel, chisel. Coax, coax, coax. The journalist coaxed the details of the story from the witness. The journalist coaxed the details of the story from the witness. Coax, coax, coax. Confiscate, confiscate, confiscate. The teacher confiscated the cell phone from the student. The teacher confiscated the cell phone from the student. Confiscate, confiscate, confiscate. Conjecture, conjecture, conjecture. Scientists conjectured that the dinosaurs were wiped out by a comet impact. Scientists conjectured that the dinosaurs were wiped out by a comet impact. Conjecture, conjecture, conjecture. Contrive, contrive, contrive. She contrived a delicious meal out of simple ingredients. She contrived a delicious meal out of simple ingredients. Contrive, contrive, contrive. Covet, covet, covet. They coveted a new home, but were unable to find one in their price range. They coveted a new home, but were unable to find one in their price range. Covet, covet, covet. Debunk, debunk, debunk. The scientist debunked the long-held theory. The scientist debunked the long-held theory. Debunk, debunk, debunk. Delegate, delegate, delegate. The government delegated a team to the peace talks. The government delegated a team to the peace talks. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Demean, demean, demean. She demeaned herself by making rude comments to the waiteress. She demeaned herself by making rude comments to the waiteress. Demean, demean, demean. Denounce, denounce, denounce. The manager denounced the staff for not fulfilling their obligations. The manager denounced the staff for not fulfilling their obligations. Denounce, denounce, denounce. Deter, deter, deter. The heavy rain deterred us from going for a walk. The heavy rain deterred us from going for a walk. Deter, deter, deter. Douse, douse, douse. The firefighters doused the flames. The firefighters doused the flames. Douse, douse, douse. Dupe, dupe, dupe. The con artist duped the elderly man out of his life savings. The con artist duped the elderly man out of his life savings. Dupe, dupe, dupe. Engross, engross, engross. The children were engrossed in the video game and didn't want to stop playing. The children were engrossed in the video game and didn't want to stop playing. Engross, 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 enthrall, enthrall, enthrall. The magician enthralled the audience with his amazing tricks. The magician enthralled the audience with his amazing tricks. Enthrall, enthrall, enthrall. Epitomize, epitomize, epitomize. This building epitomizes Gothic architecture. This building epitomizes Gothic architecture. Epitomize, epitomize, epitomize. Eschew, eschew, eschew. He eschewed junk food and ate a healthy diet. He eschewed junk food and ate a healthy diet. Eschew, eschew, eschew. Exacerbate, exacerbate, exacerbate. Stress exacerbated her headaches. Stress exacerbated her headaches. Exacerbate, exacerbate, exacerbate. Extrapolate, extrapolate, extrapolate. Scientists extrapolated the dinosaur's size from the size of its bones. Scientists extrapolated the dinosaur's size from the size of its bones. Extrapolate, extrapolate, extrapolate. Falter, falter, falter. The economy faltered in the wake of the pandemic. The economy faltered in the wake of the pandemic. Falter, falter, falter. Flout, flout, flout. She flouted her parents' wishes and married the man she loved. She flouted her parents' wishes and married the man she loved. Flout, flout, flout. Fret, fret, fret. He fretted about the exam all night long. He fretted about the exam all night long. Fret, fret, fret. Hatch, hatch, hatch. She hatched a brilliant idea to solve the problem. She hatched a brilliant idea to solve the problem. Hatch, hatch, hatch. Hedge, hedge, hedge. The company hedged against currency fluctuations by using derivatives. The company hedged against currency fluctuations by using derivatives. Hedge, hedge, hedge. Lambaste, lambaste, lambaste. The teacher lambasted the student for her disruptive behavior in class. The teacher lambasted the student for her disruptive behavior in class. Lambaste, lambaste, lambaste. Mesmerize, mesmerize, mesmerize. The beautiful sunset mesmerized the couple as they walked along the beach. The beautiful sunset mesmerized the couple as they walked along the beach. Mesmerize, mesmerize, mesmerize. Parry, parry, parry. The boxer parried the blow with his left arm. The boxer parried the blow with his left arm. Parry, Parry, parry. Pester, pester, pester. The reporter pestered the politician for answers. The reporter pestered the politician for answers. Pester, pester, pester. Petrify, petrify, petrify. The sight of the dead body petrified them with horror. The sight of the dead body petrified them with horror. Petrify, petrify, petrify. Peak, peak, peak. The speaker's use of humor piqued the audience's interest. The speaker's use of humor piqued the audience's interest. Peak, peak, peak. Plagiarize, plagiarize, plagiarize. The student was accused of plagiarizing her essay from a Wikipedia article. The student was accused of plagiarizing her essay from a Wikipedia article. Plagiarize, plagiarize, plagiarize. Proliferate, proliferate, proliferate. Scientists proliferated the cells to study their growth. Scientists proliferated the cells to study their growth. Proliferate, proliferate, proliferate. Quell, quell, quell. She quelled her anger by taking a deep breath. She quelled her anger by taking a deep breath. Quell, quell, quell. Rebut, rebut, rebut. The scientist rebutted the theory with new data. The scientist rebutted the theory with new data. Rebut, rebut, rebut. Recant, recant, recant. The suspect recanted her confession and claimed she was innocent. The suspect recanted her confession and claimed she was innocent. Recant, recant, recant. Redeem, redeem, redeem. She redeemed the coupon for a free coffee. She redeemed the coupon for a free coffee. Redeem, redeem, redeem. Remunerate, remunerate, remunerate. He remunerated the lawyer for his services. He remunerated the lawyer for his services. Remunerate, remunerate, remunerate. Repatriate, repatriate, repatriate. The government repatriated the refugees to their home country. The government repatriated the refugees to their home country. Repatriate, repatriate, repatriate. Replenish, replenish, replenish. The store clerk replenished the shelves with new products. The store clerk replenished the shelves with new products. Replenish, replenish, replenish. Repudiate, repudiate, repudiate. She repudiated her engagement to him. She repudiated her engagement to him. Repudiate, 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 resuscitate, resuscitate, resuscitate. The doctor resuscitated the patient. The doctor resuscitated the patient. Resuscitate, resuscitate, resuscitate. Retort, retort, retort. That's not true, she retorted. That's not true, she retorted. Retort, retort, retort. Rubble, rubble, rubble. The city was rubbled by the earthquake. The city was rubbled by the earthquake. Rubble, rubble, rubble. Rupture, rupture, rupture. He ruptured his Achilles tendon. He ruptured his Achilles tendon. Rupture, rupture, rupture. Savor, savor, savor. She savored the delicious cakes. She savored the delicious cakes. Savor, savor, savor. Shun, shun, shun. He shunned the crowded streets and walked down the quiet alley. He shunned the crowded streets and walked down the quiet alley. Shun, shun, shun. Snub, snub, snub. The rich people snubbed the poor. The rich people snubbed the poor. Snub, snub, snub. Solicit, solicit, solicit. The charity organization solicited donations for the victims of the war. The charity organization solicited donations for the victims of the war. Stake, stake, stake. He staked $100 on the horse race. He staked $100 on the horse race. Stake, stake, stake. Transpire, transpire, transpire. She transpired heavily during the intense workout. She transpired heavily during the intense workout. Transpire, transpire, transpire.